This isn't an update, it's a chess move. So, the iPhone Fold is finally real, or at least the leaks are solid enough that we can stop pretending it's a fever dream. We're looking at a launch alongside the iPhone 18 Pro in late 2026. A book-style design, virtually no crease, and a price tag that starts around $2,000 and might kiss $2,500. On paper, this looks like Apple catching up to Samsung, but if you've watched Apple long enough, you know they don't race, they pace. The most fascinating detail in this flood of information isn't the screen size, it's the obsession with the crease. Reports say Apple is using liquid metal hinges and a special metal plate to make the fold disappear. Why does this matter? Because for years, Samsung has trained us to accept the crease. We look at a Z Fold, run our finger over the bump, and think, that's just the price of admission. But Apple has a psychological allergy to imperfection. A visible crease on an Apple device wouldn't just be a design flaw, it would be an existential crisis for the brand. This isn't about engineering a fold. This is about Apple's deep insecurity regarding their aesthetic purity. They can't just join the foldable market, they have to fix it to maintain their illusion of perfection. Here's where it gets weird. The rumors suggest the iPhone Fold will ditch Face ID for a side button Touch ID. Wait a second. For years, we were told Face ID was the future. We endured the notch, then the dynamic island, all in the name of secure facial scanning. Now, for a device that costs more than a MacBook Pro, we're going back to a button. This exposes attention tech companies hate talking about. They sell you a vision of the future until the physics of that future get in the way. To fit a battery big enough to power a foldable, they have to strip out the Face ID sensors. It's a compromise dressed up as a feature. Most tech reviewers will probably call it a smart space-saving move. Normal users, they might just find it confusing. I paid $2,000 to go back to a button. Let's look at the launch schedule. The standard iPhone 18 is reportedly being pushed back to 2027. The Fold launches with the Pro models. This is the chess move. Apple is creating a vacuum. If you want the new exciting iPhone in late 2026, you have two choices: the incremental iPhone 18 Pro or the revolutionary iPhone Fold. Online enthusiasts are drooling over titanium chassis and C2 modems. They're analyzing the millimeter thickness. But in the real world, the silent majority doesn't care about a C2 modem. They care about one thing. Does my phone last all day, and can I afford it? By pricing this at $2,000 plus, Apple isn't targeting the average upgrader. They are targeting the Ultra crowd, the people who buy the Apple Watch Ultra and the Vision Pro. This is a signal to the market that the Pro isn't the top of the pyramid anymore. There is a new tier, a luxury tier. This device only makes sense if you look at what Samsung has failed to do. Samsung captured the foldable market, but they never made it normal. It still feels like a gadget for techies. Apple's strategy here is pure psychological warfare. They aren't inventing the category. They are waiting for the category to mature, waiting for the supply chain to catch up, and then they swoop in with a crease-free narrative to invalidate the last 5 years of Android foldables. It's a move that says, you guys were beta testing, we're ready now. So why now? Why 2026? Because the smartphone market is boring. Innovation has flatlined. People are holding onto their iPhones for 4, 5, 6 years. Apple sees the data. They know they can't sell you a slightly better camera every September forever. They need a new ceiling, a new aspiration. The iPhone Fold isn't a phone. It's a reset button on desire. It's Apple telling us that the rectangle in your pocket is no longer the end game, but there's an open loop here that nobody wants to close. If the hinge costs $80 to make, but the phone costs $2,300, is this innovation, or is it just the world's most expensive status symbol? I'm leaning toward the latter, and honestly, I think Apple is counting on it. See you next one. Peace out.